Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of August 11th. This week you have this otter spirit. It says you are never alone. You have this moth spirit. It says surrender now. So what are you surrendering to? I have no freaking clue. So we're going to have to find out what you are surrendering to. It's like, well, pretty much at least the Page of Wands and the Eight of Cups would be about kind of like stepping into the unknown or going on an adventure, which comes up for you almost every single reading because, it's like time for you to do that for sure. So, and this, it's popping into my head that there's something you're attracted to. And I'm not talking about a person here. Aquarius, I feel like there is like a thing, like an idea. It could be a location. It could be like a business idea as well. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But just intuitively, I feel this first row is saying something is almost like attracting you to it. You feel a pull or a draw. It's almost like you're a magnet, right? You feel this magnetic pull towards an idea. And, I feel like you need to move towards it. The other thing I'm getting here intuitively is it's like sometimes I think we do something and like make a change and then we realize it's not what we want. And then we're afraid to make another change because we're like afraid of what people will say. The best example I can give you is that it's like I've known people before where it's like they get a new job, they get a new job. And then they hate it right away. they know that it isn't right, but they stay there because they're afraid like people in their life are going to be like, you just got this job, and all those other judgments, right? You end with a judgment card. It's almost like this reading is saying to me, you need to like either let go of the fear of judgment, or this reading is saying it's perfectly fine if you just made some sort of change in your life to make another one, right? There's no rule that says you have to suffer at a job for 30 years. People think that, but it's definitely not true, right? And so that's kind of the energy I get here for a lot of you. For others, like I said, stepping into the unknown, but I think you're moving towards things that you are attracted to. It's almost like this magnetic pull, like I was saying, with this Page of Wands energy. And I feel like you need to follow that pull because clearly it's going to lead to a lot of abundance. You have the Ten of Pentacles showing up here. And, the Ten of Pentacles is like everything you want and desire. So whatever this pull is, or whatever is drawing you in, like a moth to a flame, right? Maybe, that's probably what I should have said with that frickin' moth card. Is you need to move in that direction for sure. You have the Eight of Wands. Number one, you have that otter spirit that says you are never alone. The Eight of Wands is my card of socializing. So, again, if you are feeling lonely this week, which is definitely possible, or, if you're feeling like you need to socialize or something, I would, hit up friends, hit up people that you want to talk to. Eight of Wands is a great card for socializing. It's also a card of a pull. All those 8 wands are pointing in one direction. So the Eight of Wands is about being moved in a single direction. The other thing that I'm getting here, Aquarius, is I feel like you need to speak up. You have the Hermit card, right? I said before, even like months before Neptune and Saturn went into Aries, they're going to be retrograding out now, but it doesn't matter, right? I said months before, I've been warning people about this, right? That, it is going to be a time where we have to be loud. I think that Neptune and Saturn and Aries is going to be loud and like a lot of noise, right? And, but I think on a personal level, that if we have things that are important, or if we have things that we want to share, we just need to share those things. You have the Hermit card showing up right next to the Eight of Wands, right? And so I feel for a lot of you that this is about kind of like, being loud, like speaking your mind, speaking up. I've said this to you before as well. I think this is also probably part of Pluto and Aquarius. Again, according to Chris's crappy astrology here, not accurate astrology, although I think mine's more accurate, but whatever. What I would say here is that I think that Pluto and Aquarius energy, it's like the risk that we have to take with Pluto and Aquarius is, speaking up being wrong, saying something being wrong, working on a project for a year, publishing a project, and people being like, you're stupid, right? That is the risk that we have to take. The thing is that if you do those things, that won't happen, right? So it's like the people that are brave enough to stick to something and put it out into the world are going to be very successful, I believe, during Pluto and Aquarius, that's going to be for the next 19 years, more. You have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you. Really weird. The Eight of Cups has come up a lot this week. We have 2 eclipses next month in September, and so we're getting very close to the eclipses. The Eight of Cups is the only card in the tarot with an eclipse on it right here. So I don't know. It's like, well, what I will say is I do think it's pretty common to feel eclipse energy before the eclipses happen. So I don't know. It's like, even though it's like a month before, I still think we could be feeling that energy, or we could be, we could be cutting things out now. We could be making those decisions. Just in general. The other thing to think about, and the other reason that this could be happening, is Uranus just moved into Gemini. So, Uranus moved into Gemini on July 7th or whatever that was, right? So basically, like, a month ago, literally to the day that I am publishing this video. I am publishing this video on August 7th. So literally it's only been there for a month. So, Uranus and Gemini can definitely create sudden change, or like sudden new things happening, and and it can kind of like shake up your world. It's like my brother is moving out, right? My brother and I have lived together forever, since we were babies, obviously, right? And and now he's moving in with his girlfriend. So there you go, right? Big shakeup, and I have this big house all to myself, and I'll be alone, like that otter spirit says, right? But Aquarius, instead of being alone, I've gone and done things. I said this in the Pisces reading. I went and I take a class now based off of an interest I have every single Monday. I've met a bunch of friends already, and I've only had one class so far, this class, right? And so, it's like one of those things where it's like the universe doesn't say like, oh, these big changes are happening, you have to be alone. The universe says like, do something about it, right? You have the Six of Wands with that Page of Wands. Definitely some sort of victory. It's like you're meant to stand out. I'm pretty sure the last bonus reading, the reading I just did for you, which will be linked at the end of this video, by the way, that bonus reading, I'm pretty sure was all about you shining bright, you standing out. It's like you need to stand out, but you need to stand out. You're not going to do it on from the comfort of your own couch, right? You have to go out and get into public, like I do, right? Like I hate when people say, do as I say, not as I do. I do these things. Everything that I rant and I rave about here on YouTube, I actually do. So there you go. No excuses. If I can do it, you can do it, right? And the Six of Wands wants you to get attention, but definitely could be some sort of victory coming in for you. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords can be like a separation or breakup. I think this is healing. We have South Node Virgo. There's a lot of stuff going on. Chiron just retrograded again in Aries. And I think that, a lot of this energy is causing us to heal or to go through some healing. So, but it could be healing literally anything. And so, I think it's just a good time to heal. Plus Mercury retrograde, right? The retrograde is over on the 10th or the 11th, depending on where you are in the world. So, this week the retrograde is over right away, which is amazing. But even at the end of the retrograde, we can have a realization about something that needs to be healed. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Fool. Yes, we have the Fool up to the Fool here. It's basically saying you know what to do, Aquarius. I'm pretty sure I said this in your last reading as well, because your last reading, kind of said the same thing to me. There was something about your last reading that really said to me that you know what to do on something that either you're wanting to do or you're thinking about doing. So there you go. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Beyond the Ordinary card and this Higher View card. Yeah, so probably something that is like an idea that is beyond the ordinary, probably something unusual. Again, you are an Aquarius. You have very innovative, unusual ideas. And not only that, with Uranus and Gemini, I think that Uranus and Gemini is going to like make you have even crazier ideas. But, there's the old saying, crazy enough that it might work, right? And so I think for some of you, you could be having a lot of those plans in life, or those ideas, or those innovative ideas that are just so crazy they might work, right? They're like just crazy enough to work. And so I think you need to embrace those ideas. The Higher View card is about gaining new perspective. And yeah, I think that you have been gaining new perspectives all along. Probably lots of new perspectives in life, seeing things from, different points of view and all that other good stuff. So yeah, I would just pay attention to that. You have the King of Swords, the Hermit, and the Four of Swords. King of Swords, card of like knowledge and wisdom. Now, this could be you showing up as the King of Swords in this reading. And, the King of Swords is a good card of knowledge and wisdom, turning knowledge into wisdom. You go down to the Ten of Pentacles here. Ten of Pentacles can be like hidden or secret information. It's not really hidden or secret. It just says that like sometimes we do things in life and we don't realize that there are better ways to do those things that we're doing. Ten of Pentacles just basically says there's a better way. And so with this and that, and also you have the Three of Pentacles, I think it would be a great time to learn from other people. to learn from mentors. These people don't even have to be alive, right? There are people who have written books that could be a mentor, or, people who have different insights that are on YouTube, for example, or something like that. So, you know what I mean? It's like time to pay attention to that with the King of Swords. You have the Hermit. The Hermit is about coming out of Hermit mode, and that's what I think you need to do. A Fool to the Hermit to the Fool. It's kind of like, I feel like you get close to the edge. You think about taking the leap, and then you don't do it on something in your life here, Aquarius. So, whatever, you're all different. Whatever that is for you, you need, like, I think it's time to take the leap of faith, is basically what this is saying. The Hermit and the King of Swords would say that you're over-prepared. Really, I look at the Fool as being over-prepared for something because he has this tiny little sack on his back. And, he's about to go through the entire Major Arcana, like this big, long journey. But all that's all he's bringing with him. He has everything he needs right here, right? And so this right here is definitely giving me over-preparation vibes. I also think you need to realize that you earned something, like literally. I do think there are certain, I don't really think the universe has requirements for us or anything. That's not what I'm trying to say, but bear with me here, Aquarius. Sometimes I think we tell the universe, I want something. And it's almost like the way I see it is that there might be certain milestones in life that we have to hit before we can get that thing that we want, right? So like if we want money, for example, usually we don't just get money. And maybe what we have to do and what we don't realize is maybe we have to clear our money blocks. Maybe we have to learn a couple of different random things, right? And then maybe we have a certain purpose that we have to fulfill. And those three things combined equal money, if that makes sense, right? It's like we have to, that's what I mean when I say sometimes that we have to match the energy of what we want. There might be a certain set of requirements that the universe has, not really requirements, but if you catch my drift here, something. And I feel like that's what this Hermit is saying, is it's like saying you meet the requirements, but you're above and beyond that. I think that you are way more required, you have way more skills or whatever to have something that you've been thinking about taking a leap of faith on. You have the Four Swords. Four Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering. Again, I think it's an excellent time for healing, taking time to heal, taking time to recharge your batteries. All that stuff would be very good with that card. With the King of Swords, you have two cards here, because this card is the one I was pulling. This one wanted to flip out with that Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands, a card of expansion and growth. The Two of Cups could be love. Two of Cups is a perfect match. But also, really, the Two of Cups is you and your higher self. So I feel like, again, with Three of Wands, he also needs to take a leap of faith, just like the Fool. And so, for a lot of you, it's like your higher self is guiding you towards taking some sort of risk or, some sort of leap of faith. I feel that would be very good for you here, Aquarius. Next, with the Hermit, you have the Fool. The Strength card. You cannot make this up because, number one, you've been getting the Strength card with me like crazy recently. You've been getting a lot of Leo energy with me. Now, someone asked me the question, by the way. They say, do you talk about Aquarius as much as you talk about Leo? No, I don't. Meaning in the Leo readings. But the reason I think this is coming up for you, and it just popped into my head, Aquarius, is that we have Mars retrograde in Leo. We have Mercury retrograde in Leo. And, it's going direct on the 11th. It'll be direct. But then next year, Jupiter will be going retrograde in Leo, almost exactly in the same spot. So I believe that in astrology that we absolutely should work with our opposite sign. For example, I'm a Pisces. There are some areas in my life I'm pretty disorganized, right? So it would probably be a good idea for me to learn Virgo energy. Virgos are anal retentive and very organized, right? So it would probably be a good idea for me to learn that energy. Well, same thing with you here, Aquarius. I think that what this reading is saying is that you need to learn that Leo energy. Why? Because the whole entire reading says it's your time to shine. It is your time to take up space. It is your time to, be the celebrity if you want to take it there, right? And I'm not saying literally, although maybe some of you, sure. I think it's saying it's time for you to stand out, right? Which Leo is very good at getting attention, right? Maybe that's what you need to work with. Maybe that's why Leo keeps popping up in your reading, is because it's your opposite sign, and you should probably learn how to work with that energy, right? With the Four of Swords, yes, you have the Judgment card. I said something about Judgment at the beginning. Again, Leo wouldn't care about Judgment, right? Leos are divas, right? They stand out, they want attention, they want to be famous, all that other stuff, right? So but they also don't care about Judgment. They don't care what anyone thinks. And there you go. I think that's really what the Judgment card is saying. And again, it's funny you have it twice in this reading. So I have nothing else there. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Aries card. It says, take the lead. It says, don't wait for others to light the way. I mean, you cannot make it up. It says, it's time to step up and take the lead. I mean, that's what the whole entire reading is saying. You have the Shooting Star card. It says, what you've asked for is coming true. A wish is about to manifest. Yes. So that looks amazing, Aquarius. Definitely very good. Again, all the Aries energy, it's, I think everybody has to take the lead. There's a specific type of leadership, I would say, that the universe wants us all to do, which is you start something and you finish it. You see it all the way through to the end, no matter what, right? So the people who are going to have a problem over the next many years with Neptune in Aries, but also for the next like 3-ish years with Saturn in Aries. Saturn is, both planets are going to retrograde out. Both planets move back into Aries basically at the same time. January for Neptune, end of February for Saturn, right? Back into Aries. The people who are going to have a hard time are going to be the people who are scattered, who aren't focused, who are doing 19 different projects at once. And it's not even true that you can't do multiple projects at once. What it is if you're like starting one thing, stopping it, and then jumping to another project, starting that project, then stopping it and starting something else, and you're always like moving around. Those are the people that are going to have a hard time, right? So I would stay focused on like one thing at a time, see it through to the end. You have the Fool, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. Again, the Fool can be about taking a leap of faith in a new direction. I do think it is time for you to take some sort of leap of faith in a new direction in your life, just to see where things are going, basically, as my voice cracks. I'm still hitting puberty here. I'm still growing, and so, there you go. But anyway, again, I think it's time for you to take a leap of faith in a new direction here with the Fool card. I think the Fool card is saying that there's I also feel like there's something very pure, like very sweet coming in for you. If you do want love, this could be a very sweet connection that's going to be coming in for you. So it just feels very pure, like good is what I would say. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. So Ten of Pentacles can represent the tree life, which basically represents everything you want and desire. Now, again, Ten of Pentacles has been an extremely common card since Uranus went into Taurus. The reason is that literally the number one thing that Uranus and Taurus wants us to do is to create more freedom, but through building and leaving a legacy, right? Taurus loves long term. Taurus loves comfort. Taurus wants to, build that business that they can pass down through the generations, last a very long time, right? And so that's how I always think of that, is that Uranus and Taurus still, even though, Uranus will be retrograding, by the way, this year, but Uranus, even though when we're past it, again, we still have to implement what we learned, right? So Uranus and Taurus taught us to build things that are not built on quicksand, to build things on a solid foundation so that they can last for a really long time. And, a lot of you could be building something that lasts a long time here. You have the Nine of Wands. It's there's something that the universe wants you to not give up on. It's probably something you're attracted to. Again, not in the love sense. I don't think this part, the attraction thing, funny enough, I don't think the attraction thing is talking about love. I think it's talking about something that you're magnetically pulled to. Maybe I've even said this to you before, Aquarius. It reminds me of the Two of Pentacles, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you've had it with me before. Two of Pentacles, the waves start on one side of the card very small, and they get bigger as they go across the card, right? Two of Pentacles can be something that is hard to ignore. It can say that, those waves getting bigger are basically something that is capturing your attention on multiple times, over and over. So, there could be something that you're attracted to that you need to create. And with the Two of Swords, you have the Two of Swords. With the Fool, you have the Two of Swords. Again, with the Three of Swords, what I was trying to say there is that, maybe based off of a past hurt, you could be trying to protect your heart. The secret with the Two of Swords is that she just needs to trust her intuition. Her intuition tells her everything that she needs to know. And, that's really what she needs to listen to. And so I think that that's what that's trying to say, is that really you're not going to get hurt if you trust your intuition. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Hangman. You have this card that says a higher view on it, right? This card here, which kind of represents looking at things from a bird's eye view. Hangman is about seeing things from a new perspective. All your readings for the past couple weeks have been about new perspectives. I'm going to blame Uranus and Gemini. Uranus and Gemini is like really good at seeing both sides of the fence, seeing, kind of like seeing two sides of something. And just the time that we're in. I think one of your superpowers, Aquarius, could be that you can't see both sides of everything, and this could make you very successful. Like in business, if everybody's doing something one way, but you know a better way that no one else knows, then obviously that can make you very successful. Same thing in love, right? It's like if you know how to do things differently, or if you act differently, maybe you get different results, right? So there you go. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, it could be a new person for those of you who are looking for a new connection. Page of Pentacles can also be good news coming in for you. And we see a lot of communication. Judgment here to the Page of Pentacles to Judgment here. So definitely could be like communication or something coming in for you here with these cards, which, that could be good for sure. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Master card. It says Wisdom, Integrity, Compassion, and Truth. You have this Air card, it says movement, intellect, and freedom. Personally, I think Aquarius is here to master, is here to become a master of something. It's like, that's why, I don't know, it's hard to describe that. Like, I think that's why Aquarius is here, is to master something. And so a lot of you could be mastering a skill, an idea, a new direction, something, and I think it would be good. You have the Eight of Swords, the Judgment card, and the Three of Pentacles. Eight of Swords can be self-imposed restriction, of course. She is stuck in these swords, but she's only seeing one way of doing things when there are many ways for her to escape her situation. She just needs to open up to all the ways of doing things, right? And so I think this is encouraging you to be flexible, open up to all ways of doing things. And if you do that, I think things will go very well. You have the Judgment card. The Judgment card can represent a waking up or like a wake-up call. So I kind of feel like you are, this is more like maybe you are overcoming the fear of judgment. That's really what popped into my head at the beginning of the reading. Again, I read intuitively, and I just go with whatever pops up, right, in my head. And I'm not getting judgment energy here. I'm getting more fear of judgment. But, it's coming up in the good stuff, which would say you're like overcoming the fear of judgment or whatever it is. You have the Three of Pentacles. It's definitely time to like put something on display. Hermit, this card here. I think it's time to like either show off or to show your skills or to show people like what you can do in your life. Something like that. And I think if you do that things will go very well for you. So that's what I would be doing there with the Eight of Swords and the Three of Pentacles is like putting your work on display. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, like I said, it's like being bold, being assertive, really going for something is what's going to lead to success. Jumping around from idea to idea to idea is going to be a problem. The other problem I would say is it's like kind of like taking the leap but not really hesitating. So the Queen of Wands doesn't hesitate. If she's about to do something, she follows through. This type of energy, I always use the example of if you've ever seen one of those like, funny videos on YouTube or whatever where like someone jumps off a diving board but they hesitate and they come down and they like fall onto the diving board instead of actually jumping into the water. It's like, that's the energy here. It's like if you hesitate, you're going to get hurt. But if you don't, then good things will happen. So, maybe a better word would be follow through. With the Judgment card, you have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, Ace of Swords is a victory or big success coming in for you. It could also be communication. Eight of Wands, Judgment twice, Page of Pentacles. These are all great cards for receiving communication if you've been waiting for communication. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Two of Wands. Take the lead, right? You have that card that said take the lead or whatever. What did it say? It literally just says take the lead. Okay, there you go. The Aries card, right? So it says take the lead. And I think if you do that, you will be very successful, Aquarius, right? He's like needing to leave a comfort zone. He's having to like do things like step out into the world, which I would definitely do with the Two of Wands. So I would like take the lead on a project, a business, an idea, something that you're magnetically drawn to, right? And I think if you do that good things will happen. You have the Shield card. It says you need to defend yourself. Everybody in August had the Devil like during the August monthly reading, so I still think we should be putting... Now, what I will say is this seems to have started to clear up. It was more in like the end of July that this came up a lot, and everybody in the July readings had the Devil as well. But it seems to be getting a little bit better, but I would still be protecting yourself against anything toxic, right? You have this frying pan card. It says trouble, accusations. We're kind of in a weird time like this. We had Mars go retrograde in Leo. Mercury went retrograde in Leo. Jupiter next year goes retrograde in Leo. Whenever you have a planet that goes retrograde in a sign, it retrogrades out, goes back in. Another planet goes into that same space, like Mercury. It's definitely going to call back that energy of the Mars retrograde. So, Mars retrograde is notorious for trouble, accusations, things like that. The best thing we can do is ignore it. And you have this cup card that says you should accept valid criticism. Yeah, probably. any valid criticisms, I would trust those things with this card. You have this tulip card that says great passion. Yeah, if you are attracting love, I do feel there could be a very passionate connection coming in for you at this time, so that looks good. You have this bird perch. It says waiting for news, package, or letter. You are definitely receiving communication if you've been waiting for communication. 8 of Wands, 2 of Cups, 3 of Wands, like Page of Pentacles, all this stuff. So definitely could be news you've been waiting for. But this looks really good, Aquarius. I like this a lot. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.